Hey, what's good, everyone? It's your favorite Christian content creator, Miles. We are back with another video. For those who don't know me, I am a small Christian content creator that focuses on helping other young adults build their relationship and their journey with Christ, and to teach them the lessons that I wish I had been taught along my journey, especially when I was younger. But today we're going to be talking about intrusive thoughts. All right. An intrusive thought is an unwelcome, involuntary thought, image, or unpleasant idea that may become an obsession, is upsetting or distressing, and can feel difficult to manage or eliminate. Where do intrusive thoughts come from? Well, they come from the enemy. Simply put, having an intrusive thought is not a sin. And when you give yourself up to these thoughts and don't try to combat it, that's what is considered a sin. Don't get me wrong. You should not just, have these thoughts and just cast them aside, just like, oh, well, that happened. It's really something you want to prevent from happening over and over again. The first Bible verse I want to give for you guys today comes from Romans chapter 7. We're going to start off with verse 15. So I am not the one doing wrong. It is sin living in me that does it. And I know that nothing good lives in me. That is, in my sinful nature. I want to do what is right, but I can't. I want to do what is good, but I don't. I don't want to do what is wrong, but I do it anyway. But if I do what I don't want to do, I am not really the one doing wrong. It is sin living in me that does it. Now, this is Paul speaking, obviously. And Paul is giving us a perfect example that even he has had these experiences of a spiritual warfare that has gone on, and not actually like a physical, like external battle. It's a battle going on internally. And he talks about how the nature of sin, he wants to do good, but he can't, you know, and talks about how the sin kind of takes control sometimes. The evil within you kind of takes control. Now, again, it's not an excuse to say like, well, if I do something, I'm gonna blame it on sin. It's a clean slate. No, that's not how that works. But it's just Paul trying to tell us about the experiences that we will have and relate to us, that you're gonna have these internal spiritual battles, and this is what it's like. Now, in Philippians 4-8, it says, now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. And there will be times where you're praying and all you can think of is intrusive thoughts, or you're seeing the intrusive thoughts. I had that happen recently where I was trying to pray and it felt like I couldn't hear myself think. I couldn't hear my own voice. I couldn't focus on whatever I wanted to focus on. I was forgetting what it was I was praying about. And the when I really just took a second to kind of breathe and say, no, I have control over what's in here. And I just asked God, please silence these voices. Please help me. Please hear me. And then really focus and lock in on what you're saying, and even go slow if you have to. That really helped me while I was dealing with intrusive thoughts in the middle of praying. Accountability is huge when it comes to fighting these intrusive thoughts. Having a partner, a friend, a family member that you can go to, maybe a pastor, um, someone close, or an adult that you can rely on and say, hey, I'm going through this. I don't understand. This is hard for me. I can't really pray. I can't hear my thoughts. Going to this person and allowing them to hold you accountable, saying, hey, you need to try doing this more, or you're not doing this, or when was the last time you prayed? What if you stop praying for a while and you start dealing with intrusive thoughts and you're not thinking about, oh, I need to pray to get rid of this? You need to have people around you that will hold you accountable, but also help give you advice towards, beating these types of challenges. One big thing is recognizing that intrusive thoughts come from the enemy, because we may know what intrusive thoughts are, but a lot of times we don't even, it took me a second sometimes to realize, wait a minute, this is from the enemy. This isn't real. Everything that's going on in my mind is not created by me. This is not the truth. Whatever I'm hearing, like, oh, I'm a failure, or like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fail this, I'm not going to be good at that. That's not me. That's the enemy trying to tip me off, to throw me off. One thing my mom would tell me was like, God has stuff in store for us. He has a plan. And these intrusive thoughts are meant to hinder us from getting to the end goal. The enemy loves to use your insecurities, your weaknesses, the people in your life, experiences, to throw you off. I I find myself, reminiscing about my past a lot, who I was in the past, things I've done in the past, or even anytime I've like messed up at work or at school. I'm like, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be able to do this if I can't do this thing right. It's not true. It's from the enemy. It's what Satan wants you to think. He wants you to believe that you are not good enough for God. He wants you to feel discouraged. He wants you to be down about yourself. So you will give up in your pursuit and you will say, I can do this my way. Or so he can show you his way. And sometimes your way, what you think is your way, is actually his way and you don't even realize it. Recognize when these thoughts come, you can hear them and listen to them and realize this is not of God. This is not my doing. This is the enemy speaking. And intrusive thoughts do not define where you are spiritually. Again, you may deal with intrusive thoughts for a little bit, and once you kind of start, battling it, and you end up feeling like you've taken steps forward, they will come back. I knew there was a while where I did not really have any intrusive thoughts, and then over time, they just start finding their way back in through the back door somehow. And it's up to us to stay consistent and stay rooted in our word, to not let those thoughts sink in too deep, and to be able to recognize them as, from the enemy and not from God, and to combat them and fight them, to send that off. Most important thing for me is accountability, prayer, and staying rooted in these verses that I mentioned in this video. If you can keep all this on your heart, you'll be fine. Put on the armor of God, the word, and shield your heart, shield your spirit, shield your mind from these spiritual attacks, because spiritual warfare is real. It is a real thing, and it is exhausting. You will feel like crap by the time you feel like you've won the fight. Paul says that this is a real thing. You will go through these spiritual temptations, these eternal struggles within yourself. Because don't forget where you come from. Don't forget who made you, who brought you this way. God gives you salvation. Jesus, his sacrifice gave you salvation. You now have an opportunity to be free, to free yourself from this sin, from intrusive thoughts that are taking control of your mind, or having you think about yourself in a way you shouldn't, having you think about others in a way you shouldn't. It is okay. Don't be afraid if just start to hear these thoughts or see these thoughts, maybe when you're alone, or, at night, or when you're out and about, it's because you're human. You're normal just like everyone else. So it doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you're just the same as everyone. Just continue to pray about it. Ask God to remove these thoughts from your mind, and to really focus in on him and on your heart when you're praying, because the intentions of your heart will be made clear when you pray. But remember, God promises peace to those that pursue him and that love him and trust him. Just remember to always have faith, and you will be fine. Surround yourself with beautiful people that will pour into you, and put yourself in a spot in life that will take your mind off these thoughts. Always stay busy, because the human mind is literally a playground for the devil. So don't become lazy. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll definitely be diving into more intrusive thoughts videos in the future. And definitely keep an eye out for more stuff coming soon. I definitely want to start definitely moving forward on some things that I want to do, certain projects with the podcast, the clothing brand and stuff, which I will be definitely spreading more information about soon. But yeah, anyways, guys, I just hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great week. And be sure to change your perspective every now and again. Remember, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys. Much love.